Well, hello there, Gemini. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing kind of a little bit of a special reading. This is your Saturn in Pisces transit reading for the next 3 years. So Saturn actually entered Pisces on March 7th, and it will stay there until February 2026. So this is kind of a really big transit. These Saturn transits, they happen about every 3 years. And over the last 3 years, we're going to take a look how that affected your ninth house of long-term planning and learning, and how the next 3 years are going to take the lessons that you've learned in the last 3 years and apply them to your area of career and public image. So this is really exciting because, Gemini, I know your readings, you have really been trying to work through who you are, what it is that you want to put out there in the world. And this is really kind of an exciting 3-year period for you of, really seeing some success and prosperity in your career and work sector. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to first start with some overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot to get some more kind of insight about what you've learned in the last 3 years. We'll do that briefly, and then we'll move into the next 3 years. So let's see what we have here. And if you're enjoying the content that I create, I really would appreciate it if you would consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. I really do appreciate all of your support. Okay, so let's see what the overall energy is. Oh my gosh, I'm getting so much. I'm just like covered in goosebumps right now. You have cow spirit, that miracles are endless. Gemini, you so deserve this. I mean, it really is. And it's the number 15 reduced is the number 6, which is your number, the number of the Lover's card in Tarot. It is like everything that you have been through is suddenly coming into, it's like all those puzzle pieces are falling into place, and the miracles are just endless over these next 3 years. And then we have wondrous universe, walk in beauty. This is you, Gemini. This is you coming into that energy of just knowing how wise you are because of all of the experiences that you have been through, the good and the painful, right? And how that has made you kind of this wiser soul, ready to share your wisdom with others. And in a way, through your career and your work, your public image, in fact, for some of you, you may become coming out of a sense of hiding your truth and really almost like standing on a stage, whatever that is, a YouTube channel, a podcast, writing a book, writing plays, writing music, whatever it is. It's kind of like, okay, now I know who I truly am, and I'm stepping into that energy, truly sharing it with others, and then the prosperity. Gemini, the energy for you over the next 3 years is absolutely incredible. So let's go to the tarot. We're going to take a look just briefly over what Divine wants you to really take away from these last 3 years while you were, working on your long-term planning and learning. I feel like a lot of you, it changed, okay, very much how you viewed the world. Let's face it, we went through a pandemic over the last 3 years, right? But your view of the world and how you fit in it has changed. Your long-term plans. You may have, even gone through a divorce or are going through a divorce. You could have, gone back to school. You could have changed your career. It's all this over the last 3 years. You've changed where it is that you see yourself fitting into the world, right? And how that is going to look long term. And, that is a difficult transit. This 3-year period between now and 2026, you are taking that learning, you are taking that wisdom, that new viewpoint, and now sharing it with the world through your career, through your work. I feel like those of you that may even be retired, right? And you're like, well, I'm not work in the work sector. You could be volunteering. You could be, even kind of like the way that you show up in the activities or with your friends, with your group sector, right? Even with your family, showing up in this new viewpoint of the wisdom, understanding the wisdom that you have gained, the intellect, right, that you have gained, and how you can share that with the world. So let's take a brief look first at the last 3 years. Now remember, this was in your 9th house of long-term planning and learning, okay? So you really and truly probably went through some type of overview of what it is that you want for yourself long-term, moving forward, okay? Yeah, you cleaned it up, okay? You cleaned up how you're showing up in the, in the world. I did. I myself retired from teaching in the last 3 years. It's this energy of understanding, okay, what's really in alignment with me and what is not. My whole viewpoint of the world and what I am here to do, okay, has changed in the last 3 years. And you may have had some type of revelations in the last 3 years about what's in alignment with for me in the future and what is not, and cleaning out, that can be difficult. People, relationships, situations, even where you live. It's kind of like, okay, does this fit me or not for the long term? That's what you've been working on. You're seeing clearly now and very grateful for what you have. It's about understanding. I think part of it is in the last 3 years, you've stayed grateful, even when difficult situations came onto your path, painful experiences where you had to let people go or situations go. You're seeing clearly how that has brought you into this new sense of who you are and what it is that you want to share with the world. And then I love this card. Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. Okay, so Gemini, I think for a lot of you, in the comments and stuff, some of you are really clear about what it is that you want as you move forward. Others of you are like, okay, I thought that this is what I want, okay, but it's not manifesting in my life yet. And that is what is going to happen over this next 3 years. Wherever you are right now, okay, you are correct in what it is, how you feel about your stance in the world, okay, your worldview, your long-term plans. You are on the right path. Now, this next 3 years, it's about bringing structure and organization to how you put that out into the world, especially as perhaps your career, a side hustle, or, even in the way that you just kind of like shine your light on a daily basis. Okay, so it is interesting. I think for a lot of you over the last 3 years, you have gone through some heartbreak, and I know that from reading your comments. But now, once again, it's this energy of what left my life was not in alignment for who I am and how I am going to show myself out into the world. So there's this sense of gratitude, looking at the silver lining of dark clouds and really look at this. It's kind of like, okay, I love myself enough to go after what it is that I truly want. You could have been on a path that was really more in alignment with what other people wanted for you. That could have been your family, society, a significant other. It's kind of like you had to work over the last 3 years trying to figure out, is my long-term plan, is my purpose in alignment with what I want or with what others want for me. And now you're stepping into this energy of truly loving yourself. This Page of Cups can sometimes be about forgiving yourself for past choices, but also understanding, being grateful, because you know that even those choices in the past, there are no wrong decisions. Those choices helped you to get crystal clear, okay, with this King of Swords, crystal clear about what it is that you want to put out into the world, really coming into a sense of what your purpose is and how now to take that information and move forward. Okay, so let's take a look. So Saturn is kind of an interesting planet. It's a tough guy type of energy that is going to be in your career and public image sector, but it's going to force you to have some structure and routines in your career and public image sector. Okay, so if you're not very structured, you don't have good routines in your career and workplace, Saturn is going to have you looking at that. It will bring situations onto your path that will require you to put in good routines and practices. Organization. It's also about trying to find that balance between work and life, a work and play, having time to work and work on your career, but also making time for fun. So let's first take a look at how you can concentrate, what areas you can concentrate on with structure and organization, so that this Saturn transit is smoother for you than rockier, because Saturn will make you look at this whether you want to or not. Yes, it's about having the strength to understand that you're still perhaps healing from some disappointments in the past, and that's okay. It's about understanding that the energy that I'm getting here, Gemini, is that you could have had some major disappointments in the last 3 years. Actually, you could have had some major disappointments since about 2008 to 2010. That's when Saturn would have been in your 4th house. Okay. So that's, kind of the family sector where you live, that type of thing. So you could have had some major setbacks since that time, because that's a pivotal time for this transit. And understanding that you are still kind of healing from that. And because that was in your 4th sector, you could almost have a little bit of an energy if something doesn't work out the way that you want it to, kind of initially, you may quit it, okay, because of that transit passed back in like 2008 to 2012. Okay, so it's taking a look at how you're healing it. You're having this perseverance to stick through things, even when they get difficult. So in your career and public image sector, right? It's about, okay, something may not work out completely smoothly, and yet at the same time realizing that you have the courage and the perseverance to stick it out to the end instead of throwing in the towel and quitting. Okay, so this is something to really keep in mind, that kind of like making a plan, getting kind of crystal clear about what it is that you want to accomplish over the next 3 years, having a 3-year plan, and then kind of sticking to it, because this is letting me know that one of the issues, and Gemini, you're kind of an air sign, you can kind of get distracted very easily. It's understanding that if I want to make my goals, right? If I want to have success and prosperity in my career sector, what I have to do is have a plan and then stick to it. Have the courage to stick to my plan and know that this is part of healing any kind of wounds around if something doesn't go exactly the way I want it to, that you may ditch it to go on to something else. It's learning to have perhaps difficult conversations, right? Of sticking through things, of knowing that everything isn't going to be smooth sailing. And that even when things aren't smooth sailing, that you have the perseverance and determination to finish it through. I love that energy, because you have all is in perfect timing. This is it. It's time to take action now. I will be here to help you every step of the way. And then you have poised. It is time to take action. And I feel like with this energy, it's kind of like letting you know that you have been working on this sticking with it type of energy that you may need, and that you're poised. It is time. For some of you, you could be a little bit timid about starting, right? Because it's this Well, I've had disappointments in the past. I don't want more disappointments, but understanding, no, this is a good time. The divine is on your side. So what routines, what structures can you put into your daily life that will help you to step out into the public, to share what it is that you want to share with others and make this a career? Okay, so for some of you, this could be something that's been a hobby for some time. And it's like, well, wait a minute. It's time now for me to make, it doesn't mean you have to go quit your job today, but are you putting into place right now a plan so that you can leave perhaps one career and start, your spiritual business, or a business that is really based on what your light is, what it is that you are meant to share with others. Yeah, it's a kind of this energy of get inspired, know that you are manifesting what it is that you want, but you also have to put the time and energy into it. Knowing it's not just going to pop into reality. There is this assessment, reassessing. How much time and energy are you putting into it? What does your daily schedule look like? Are you also scheduling time for fun and play? Right? It's about understanding that it is about balance. It's not all about work. It is about having time for family, for friends, for play, for self-care. It's understanding that, okay, I need some structure in my calendar. That's what they keep coming back. Or what systems can you put into place in your business, okay, or your career that will help alleviate some of the burden for you? Are there people that you could hire? Is there software that could help you with some of the daily issues that you have? So really interesting energy there. Now, Saturn is also the planet of karma. So it is about recognizing where you have been putting some good karma into your career and public image sector. You will reap benefits. And if you have not been authentic in your career and public image, okay, this is the time where the karma will show up in that way too. Okay, helping you to become more aligned, more accountable. Having your your walk match your talk. Okay. So, if you're here at this channel, you have good karma, but it is something to keep in mind. If you are in a position where you are helping other people and you're kind of like helping them to see what they could improve in their life, or you're bringing healing to them, are you also using those same types of encouragement, practices, rituals in your daily life that you are putting out to other people? So for me, one of the things I talk about is, like the way that I communicate with my spirit guides and angels, and I have an angel journal. Well, if I am just putting that out there, but not being authentic about it, it's going to show up. Okay. So it is understanding that what you are saying, especially in the public sector, okay, it needs to match what you truly believe and is in alignment with your true self. Otherwise, the light will be shined on it. and so it's just kind of like recognizing, how can I be more accountable for what I am saying and how I am showing up and how that is aligned with my true self. So yeah, there's two ways to look at this, right? There's a decision. I can either kind of market myself to the image that I think other people want for me to have, or I can market myself to my true authentic self. I've said this over again on this channel, right? If I really wanted to build a big channel, I might do different types of tarot readings, maybe basically just do love readings or something like that, right? But if I'm being true and authentic to who I am and to my alignment, then I'm going to do readings on here that are really more in alignment with the message that I'm trying to portray to my audience. And that's just something to kind of think about when you're marketing yourself, when you're talking to your clients, when You are showing up in meetings at work. Are you speaking your truth, how you truly feel? Or are you saying those things that you feel like the people that you are dealing with? Is that what they want to hear? And I feel like you have a creative endeavor that at this time may feel somewhat orphaned. It's understanding that to walk your truth, okay, to walk what you're talking about is about also stepping into this. So Gemini, the energy that I'm getting here is really kind of interesting because I feel like there's something that you have wanted to put out there. Okay. But you're concerned that your heart is going to be broken. So you're holding back, but you could be also kind of like, putting not necessarily the blame, but not taking accountability for why you haven't done this. Okay. So for instance, you could be saying, oh, well, I have so many other things going on in my life. I don't have time. Okay. Or my boss makes me work late, right? So I can't start my side business so I can get my message out there. I'm having, some personal issues. So I don't have the energy to do this. Saturn is trying to let you know it's time to put down any excuses, okay? And be accountable for what it is that you are here to create. In other words, it's no longer about hiding behind your excuses. It's putting yourself out there. It's making this a priority, whatever this is, and not allowing, distractions or other people's issues or concerns of being, the cancel energy. It's understanding, okay, I have something to share and it's time to share it because you have, no, it is not yet time. And I think this is interesting because this is what you're saying to yourself. It's not time yet, right? It's about becoming accountable for yourself and knowing that, yes, it is, all is in perfect timing. This is the time. In other words, the divine is letting you know that you have been saying, well, when so-and-so gets better, right? Or when I quit my job or when I have enough money, then I'll start working on this. It's time to be accountable. It's time to say it's nobody else's fault, okay, in a way, but then my own as far as why I haven't done this. Wow, Gemini. I mean, that's kind of a big message if you're resonating with this, right? It's understanding that sometimes we all do that. And it could be that you're also hiding behind other people's distractions, those other shiny things. It's understanding, okay, I'm putting a structure into place. First of all, I'm getting a goal. Where do I want to be in 3 years, right? What do I need to do in order to get to there, right? And then it's understanding, okay, it's up to me to have the strength and the courage to put this into practice. How do I do that? What does every single day look like? And you're not one that likes to have, every day look the same. But there is something here about understanding that you need structure to your career, to your public image in order, okay, to see the success that you are wanting. And Saturn wants you to have these miracles. Saturn wants you to have this energy of the wondrous universe, to know that you can create the success and prosperity that you are wanting. This is your chance, Gemini. That's what they're saying. This is your chance. Put down the excuses, right? Understand that you are in control. You are totally in control about how you show up in the world, being accountable for that and walking your talk, right? Walking your talk. Okay, so now let's take a look at what you can expect in 3 years. Yeah, I feel like you're going to have this deep knowing of who you are and what it is that you are here to do. But I also love this, that you're understanding your hidden motivations. I think over the next 3 years, you're going to really flush out any of those limiting beliefs that have held you back from the prosperity that you have been wanting, And then, oh my gosh, welcome abundance into your life. Prosperity is on its way. Have faith that Source will heal your financial challenges. After a long time of feeling like you have been left out by the universe, by the divine, that things are not going to work out for you, look at what happens. The abundance flows in. But it comes because you understand. I feel like you have been through a lot, right? You have been through a lot. And sometimes when we've been through a lot, then we get into this mindset perhaps of, well, there's always a reason why I can't accomplish what it is that I want to accomplish. There's always something that comes up. This has been a pattern. There have been a lot of distractions because the thing is, Gemini, you had to eliminate a lot of limiting beliefs. You've had to eliminate relationship situations that were not in alignment with what you are walking into for these next 3 years, right? And because of that, I feel like there's almost this pattern of, well, whenever I try to get started, something happens. It's understanding, okay, it doesn't matter what distraction comes up. This is kind of hard, right? No matter what distraction comes up, I have the courage and the strength to put myself and what it is I am here to do as a top priority. Wow, really, really important information here because it is about taking a look at that, understanding. Look, we have the Page of Cups and the World card and the Nine of Cups. It's understanding that right now it is about forgiving yourself, right, for holding yourself back or allowing distractions in your life. You've learned some lessons through that. It's time to step into this new world of having everything that it is that you want, Gemini. The miracles are endless, and it's time to allow those to come in. And the quickest way to allow those to come in is to also step into that energy of understanding you are in charge. You are in charge of your daily habits and routines around your career and public image. You're also in charge of that work-life balance. That play is so important in order to also have the fuel and the energy in order to create and to step into this. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Yeah, you're stepping onto a brand new path of understanding that you are the King of Pentacles. That it's time to celebrate. That celebrating with others. Spending time working on your business, making this a top priority, but also having time to spend with others, to celebrate your successes, right? Instead of there is almost an energy of celebrating what hasn't worked out. Right? It's almost like changing your mindset. I'm not going to focus on all of the distractions, all the reasons that I haven't been able to do this in the past. Instead, I'm going to celebrate this new inspiration. I'm going to spend time with friends and family that support me. And I also am going to focus on being the King of Pentacles, building an empire, building the wealth that you are wanting for yourself and for your loved ones. Okay. Wow. Beautiful energy. Okay, well, Gemini, let's pull a soul truth card to finish this out. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. And what do we have here? Where am I with my health goals? Where do I want to be? Why am I not there? What will it take for me to feel well? If my body could talk, it would say, blank. Feed your body what it needs to feel nourished, appreciated, and loved. Make some new exciting goals to take your health to the next level. Okay, and it's not just about health. Our health and our well-being and our pentacles, okay, I'm looking for my King of Pentacles, okay, are related. They're very much related. And it could be that for some time you just haven't felt yourself. You haven't had that energy. And it's because you haven't allowed yourself to take really good care of yourself, putting in those daily habits of, and routines, rituals for self-care, eating healthy food, exercising, spending time meditating, journaling. Putting in those practices will give you the fuel that you need in order to create the empire that you are also wanting. So it's a really lovely energy of reminding you that how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually also comes into play as far as the miracles in your business. You know, the abundance, the prosperity that you are seeking. Really lovely message there. So please make sure that you're spending good quality time on your work, but also good quality time taking good care of you and having some fun and enjoyment in your life too. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Gemini. I really do appreciate all of your support through liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.